bad. All around bad. Yeah. Bad lighting. Not good. Hey everybody, I'm Catherine and I am here today with a review of Introductions by C.L. Stone, the first in the Academy series in the Ghost Bird series of the Academy. Does that make sense? I know it's a little confusing. This is the first book that C.L. Stone, to my knowledge, has written that uses the reverse harem idea with her main character saying. This book is about Sang and her seven, you heard me right, male probables in her harem. Pretty much what this book is about. To be honest, I didn't like this one terribly. I didn't even rate it on Goodreads because I couldn't. But I have reasons for not liking it. It's not just that, no, I didn't like it because her name was stupid. No. So, aside from her name, which we'll just forget that that's what her name is. Nothing happened in this book. And it's surprising because I did a review a long time ago about the first book in the author's accompanying, that's a horrible word, series to this series in the Academy series. So it's like one series with two branching series. And I really liked that one. Like, I thought it was awesome. It also has the reverse harem. And then everyone that saw my review for that book kept telling me that they loved this series more and that I should really look into it. And it was just a disappointment, like super disappointment. 7 guys, first of all, just maybe was way too much. I had trouble keeping them all straight because there were so many and they just seemed to blend together. Like, aside from the first one, the first guy that she meets, what's his name? Coda, K-O-T-A, like short for Dakota. I couldn't remember who was who. And yeah, so they all just kind of clumped together then for me after. But I really didn't like this book because nothing happened. It was a great starting off point for the series as a whole, I think, because I'm definitely going to read, I have the second book to read on my Kindle already, so I'm definitely going to read more into the series. I'm not going to judge it just by this first book, but it just, nothing happened. I felt bad for the main character. She had horrible parents who were extremists in their parenting ways, and their mother was crazy, pretty much, like very, very religious extremists. They would have to, her and Sang and her sister as punishment would have to like kneel on the floor, but like upright kneeling, you know, not sitting down on your heels, kneeling, and stare up at the ceiling. Wait, am I confusing that with another book? I might be. But that was the type of punishment that they had to do, which, wow. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but it didn't seem like it was necessary in the story to have it happen. And then basically the whole book is just her meeting all of these guys and going to real school after being homeschooled her entire life. But nothing really happens. That's the big thing. Like, it's not even really a memorable book for me. And that's the sad thing, because going into the second book, I'm going to be like, what the fuck just happened? It does start the reader off really wanting to know what happens next, which I thought was fantastic of it. So I think this would have been better as more of a prequel novella, introducing you to the characters, than a standalone first book in a series. It's not standalone. I don't know why I said standalone. But anyway, it is what it is. Is it something that I won't reread it for sure. I don't need to submit myself to that type of cruelty to reread it. But, like I said, I do really want to give the rest of the series a chance, especially since I really, really liked the other series in this series. I really like the Scarab Beetle books. I thought they're fantastic, and I want to almost read this series to find out more about the Academy series, to find out more about the Academy, so that when I'm reading the Scarab Beetle series, I know more than they tell the readers. So I find that the Goodreads summary of this book is a little deceiving for what happens. So one thing in particular, one of the last bits. So, bit by bit, Sang discovers that her friends are far from the normalcy she expected. Will her loyalty change when she's forced to remain in the dark, or will she accept that she's traded one house of secrets for another? It makes the book seem as though there's going to be a lot more secrecy in it than there initially is. Sang, understandably, I suppose, doesn't want people to know of the type of abuse that she suffers at home. So she doesn't really tell anyone. They just figure that she has really strict parents. And I have a feeling that'll also come more into play later in the books. And then, of course, with the Academy, you don't know what it is. So there's that secrecy. But the extent that the summary makes it out to be is not the extent that I personally found it to be in the book, which is also part of the reason why I didn't really enjoy it as much. But I do have a feeling like most things in this series, it will get better as the books go on, and the first book really shouldn't be what you judge the rest by. I would suggest this to maybe a younger reader. The main character is just kind of starting out high school, so I have a feeling it's also one of those books that it's going to kind of grow with the readers, and she's going to get older as the reader's going to get older. So it would definitely be for a kind of younger young adult reader as opposed to an older young adult reader. They might not see the same things in it. Honestly, I wanted to slap her for being so stupid sometimes. And I know it was not the character's fault, and it was the way that she was written because of the way that she was brought up. But yeah. There were times where I'm just like, you can't be this stupid. I mean, really, you are. Okay, that's fine. She is very childish, the main character, and understandably so, considering she has led a very sheltered life up until the beginning of this book. But yeah, definitely give it a try. A lot of people have really enjoyed this book. I've gotten a lot of comments from the reviews I did on the first book in the Scarab series, under the Academy series, that said people really thought I would like this, and they really enjoyed it, and they liked it better than the Scarab series. I personally don't see it, but I can see how other people would. So yeah, don't just take my words into account. Check it out for yourself. So happy reading. Bye.